Um, Hello there. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to another episode on Questions and Reason. This is your host, Manaka Anthony Raphasha. It's the R, baby. It's the R, my G. You know, the media doesn't just have questions anymore. It has questions and reason, all right? So, what are we talking about today? Today, we're tackling a very sensitive topic, okay? Gender equality, all right? And we're going to be discussing it in a very specific context of women in sport. Sorry for the noise that is coming outside. Someone is watering the garden. Okay, let's get into it. So yeah, cisgender versus transgender. Women in sport. Great. All right, so we're gonna try and take it from the beginning, from the roots, right? The first concept is patriarchy. Let me see if I can bring it here so we can have patriarchy, right? There we go. Patriarchy definition. So Google says it's a system of society or government in which the father or the eldest male is the head of the family and descent is reckoned through the main line. Another says a system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. All right. We're going to go with the second one. So, the idea of men having key roles in politics, in economic activities, and so on and so forth, while women are not as much. And I believe that's the system that we currently live in. But where does it come from? It comes from the idea of gender roles. Let me write it down. Gender roles. So in the olden days, because men had more, strong physical attributes, they were hunters and they were warriors. Hunters, warriors, and women were more of gatherers and caring for the household. Caregivers, let me just say caregivers. You get the idea, caregivers. And this is largely because of the way our biology works, right? So a man tend to have a high level of testosterone. High level of what? Testosterone. And this is due to hormones, right? And this is the testosterone is associated with what? Mass, muscle, strength. So if your body can produce a lot of testosterone, you get to have a larger mass, muscle, strength. Another feature that made gender roles to persist was the idea that males tend to have a large bone structure. and their lung capacity was more robust. So this helps in tasks that needs endurance and stuff like that. So this was more valuable than this, right? Coolies. I know a lot of people are gonna be sensitive, but we're trying to get the history. I know a lot of people don't agree with this. Okay, let's talk about the people who don't agree, the feminists, right? Now, the feminists, let me write it down. Feminism. So the feminists believe that gender is a social construct, not a biological one. Right? And their fight is that women should get equal opportunity, get equal opportunities and rights as men, right? And they were very instrumental in women voting and women owning property. So prior to feminism and the fight for women's rights, women were not allowed to vote and women were not allowed to own properties. And that is due to an exclusion in key areas, right? So feminism is a belief that men and women should have equal opportunities to compete and they should have the same rights as men do. And whether it's in the workplace or wherever, women should be given a chance to prove themselves. Right? Beautiful. This is not a matter of you agree with it or not. It's a matter of history. It's a matter of facts. Okay? So, women's rights came a long way. I mean, back in the day, women, like I said, were not allowed to vote and were considered a property of the father until given to a man in marriage, and the woman becomes a property of the man. And the whole idea that they were excluded from voting was that it wouldn't be fair to single men, because now if you are married you will have 2 votes, because your property will vote as you vote, so you will have 2 votes, right? So that was the whole argument around it. But we have seen that women can contribute to society. We've seen them in as scientists, we've seen them as teachers, as leaders, and yes, women's rights still have a long way to go, right? Now, the reason why, okay, so there's a saying that says, behind every successful man, behind every successful man is a woman. So this saying, although it has persisted throughout time, it has left a lot of people divided. Some people are saying that, yes, I mean, it is because of the influence of the mother, is influence of the wife, influence of, you know, women figure around men that makes them successful. While other people are saying that, wait, women are not just supporting roles, they also can be initiators and pioneers and stuff like that. So this saying discredits the idea that women can be pioneers. So there's like a division around that. I am talking about both sides so that we can have a more balanced view of what is really going on, right? Behind every successful man is a woman. Is it true or not? It will depend on the individuals, right? On who says who. Some people believe that they are self-made, but if you really look at it, there's no such person as a self-made millionaire or self-made successful person, because at the end of the day, um, what is it? Sorry about that. At the end of the day, there will be people who are supporting you. So I believe that male support women while female also support men. So it is not one way. It is a circle. It's like a river, right? It doesn't end and it affects both sides. So we need support from each other. So there is a level of truth in this to say behind every successful man is a woman, because if a woman didn't exist, would we have men? That's another because a woman gave birth to men, right? That's another conversation, right? So there wouldn't be a man if a woman didn't exist. Like we wouldn't multiply on earth. So because of a woman, because we're given birth by a woman, we are here and we are able to what? To, decide our own destiny, right? So there's a level of truth in this, a degree of truth in this. So I'm not gonna try and debate it. I just wanted to show you both sides. Some people feel like this saying just wants to put females as supporting roles and that they can't do much, but that is not true. Females can be pioneers, can be initiators, and they can still support, while male can be pioneers, initiators, and still support women. Okay? So it should be either way. It shouldn't be behind every successful man, but it should be behind every person is another person. I think that is a more balanced saying. Okay, I'm not sure how we got here. I wanted to make an argument that yes, we should have equal rights. Does this make me feminism? I don't know. You decide. We should have equal rights. We should have equal opportunities. And if there is some sort of a prior or a previous disadvantage, it should be compensated. There should be reparation for a lot of women who were denied education, who were denied certain jobs because people believed that a woman cannot be capable of doing such a task or cannot be able to do such a job, right? And some women are more equal than others. So what I'm saying is, it is not a matter of gender. some jobs people can do not because they are women, but because they are capable. Some jobs they can't do not because they are women, but they're because they don't have the right expertise or the right training, and maybe with education, with training, and with support, they can get there. So I totally agree with the fact that we should have equal rights, equal opportunities, and women should be given a chance to add more to contribution, because what they can offer is not what men can offer, and we really need their contribution in this life. We have, like I said, there's a lot of sectors which we have seen women, contributing a whole lot more than men, not because they're women, but because they're capable. Okay, so the conversation should be on a person level than on a gender level. Okay. What are we discussing now? We're discussing the idea of cisgender, transgender. Okay, let me try to erase this one. Equal opportunities. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one there. So, what is a transgender woman? A transgender woman is a woman who was assigned the gender of male just after birth, due to what? The sex organ. But later on, she starts to identify as a female. Right. I had a debate that people are saying that doctors shouldn't assign gender until people get to verify what they identify as. And I believe that will cause a whole lot of problems, because we need to be documented. And anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's not why we are here, okay? But there is such a debate. Know that such a debate, exists. So people are saying that no, doctors are not supposed to assign us whether we are male or female at birth. They should just wait for us to discover our sexuality, and then when we decide to identify as male, we will put it inside our certificates or inside government database that I identify as male. Okay, so what happens during this? There's something called hormone therapy. This means that you take medication or go through surgery to lower level of testosterone in your body to be more feminine. That means that your ability to have muscles, mass, and strength is decreased. And reports shows that some decrease to a point where people who were assigned as women at birth have even a higher level than the ones who are going through hormone therapy. Okay? Now there's an argument. Let me make space here. Here we go. Now there's an argument that transgender cannot compete with women in sport with cisgender. So okay, I'm not gonna write it down. So the argument is that transgender women shouldn't compete with cisgender women, because even though they went through hormone therapy and their level of testosterone is down, they still have advantages that will be unfair to women who were assigned as women or as female when they were born. So they will still have that lung capacity. They will still have that height. They will still have that large bone structure. And so on and so forth. So these will contribute to them having more endurance. Like for example, in sport, like sports such as netball, your height is a huge advantage because you can catch the ball while it is still in the air because you are taller than most people, right? So it gives you that. In long jumps or throwing stuff, you have a better competitive advantage compared to other people just because you have some physical attributes of a man, right? So that's the argument. The argument is that it is not fair to women even though the level of testosterone is down. So, yes, these people are no longer physically more muscular than other women, but they still have these other stuff that makes them have a better competitive advantage over the other women. Let's look at the case of Caster Semenya, right? Caster Semenya. So this is still that argument of, are women equal? But they can't be equal. Okay, Caster Semenya. Caster Semenya is a South African athlete who is now denied to enter certain competitions because she has a medical condition called what? Hyperandrogenism. I'm not sure if I'm calling it right. Talking about isms, I am reminded of this other lecture at university, my communication lecture. Mr. Sitole used to tell us, hey, when you leave university, you must know all the isms. Anyway, hyperandrogenism. So, although Casta is female, right? And she identifies as female, right? But she has a medical condition called hyperandrogenism, which secretes or produces a higher level of testosterone in her body than most women. Okay? So the condition for her to be able to compete in certain competitions, they're saying what? She must go through surgery, or what we spoke about before, hormone therapy, to decrease this level of testosterone, and it should be under a certain threshold for at least a year if she wants to compete. And her argument is to say, but my body is naturally that way. It's not like, I chose this, and I can't be able to lower my body in order for me to satisfy a threshold in a competition. So that was the argument. I'm not sure where the case ended, but last time I checked, that was the argument, to say, no, I will never go through surgery to try and change my body to satisfy the threshold that you're saying. Okay. So now the question arises, is this fair? So she can't compete with other women while she's a woman. Ugh, this thing is frozen. Oh. Come on now. Frozen. Still loading. Let's wait. Okay, it looks like we are back. I was frozen there for some time, but I still can't locate my mouse. I guess we're not gonna be taking notes anymore. So, my point was to say, Caster Semenya is a woman who identifies as a woman, but she is pressured to change certain physical attributes that she was born with in order to fit what? To fit the narrative. Is that fair? Does her condition of hyperandrogenism make her not a woman? Are we saying that she's no longer a woman now because she has a medical condition? And if she is a woman, if we agree that she's a woman, why is she not competing with other women? So those are the questions that I'm struggling to deal with, but I guess policymakers and lawmakers know better, right? Because they have scientific researchers and stuff like that, right? But we have to allow, if let's say if we do agree that she's a woman, we have to allow her to compete with women. If we are saying no, she's not a woman, she's male, why is she not competing with male, right? And there's still that other argument: should cisgender and transgender women compete in the same competition, whilst other people have better physical attributes or a more enhanced physical attributes than others? Do we consider that fair? And what is fair then, if we are to define fair in that context? What is fair in that context? That's what we need to find out, to say, okay, what is fair now? Alright, so that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. I hope you guys are well. I still can't find my mouse. Oh, man. This is not ending the way I wanted it to end. I still can't find my mouse. Anyway, so this is all I wanted to discuss today, guys. Comment below to let me know what's your take on this, and what do you feel is fair, and do you believe that women should have equal opportunities as men? And provide the reason why you believe it. If you don't believe it, also provide the reason why you don't believe it, because we have religions that clearly disagrees with this, that says that a woman is inferior, should be in the home, making babies, taking care of the household and stuff like that, while a man works. And we have traditions and cultures as well that supports women not being able to have a voice. I mean, there's a tradition that says that a woman shouldn't ask a man where he was. If a man just decide to leave and go out, let's just say he's going out for like 2 days, 3 days, doesn't come home, a woman shouldn't ask, and that is how they get to sustain the marriage, and that is how they get to keep going. So it is, things like this that makes us question, to say, really? So a woman shouldn't have a voice when she feels like she's being betrayed? And that is why I feel men are more scared to be with women who have power, who have businesses, who are successful in their careers, and they say these women are not submissive. But really, you are in a position where you just want to be in control. You don't want to be questioned, and you don't want to be told you are wrong. It's not a matter of her career. You want somebody who cannot sustain themselves economically, so that they can still stick around when you mess up. I believe that's the reason why you do it. It's not because of that big job that she has or that money that she brings home. It's because you are scared that if you have a person who can always move out when you become emotionally abusive, physically abusive, and she can still sustain herself after you are scared that you can't be able to do the things that you want to do, which you know very well is not good things, right? But if you have a partner who you want as a partner, who you want to build each other, if you want her to build you and you build her, and she becomes successful and she becomes this power person, you wouldn't have a problem with that if you know that your intentions are to treat that person right. I believe that is the whole idea, right? If your intentions are truly to treat that person right and make them your equal and make them your helper and you help them, then it shouldn't be a problem. But we see most of domestic violence, gender-based violence, it is clearly because of economic situations. People are sticking in those situations because they rely heavily on the contribution of the husband, and they feel like they can't do anything outside that, and the husband sees that, takes advantage of that, and treat their partner very badly. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm going on, and this thing still can't stop. What's wrong? Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's it, guys. If you wanna subscribe. If you wanna comment. Like I said, in this channel, it's not about that, because we wanna talk about sensitive topics, and YouTube doesn't allow certain words to happen. If you wanna monetize, they will censor you deeply. So I don't want any form of censorship or restriction. We should be able to express ourselves to the fullest, right? Respectfully so, though. We don't want to disrespect people because of it. All right. Okay, we are back. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have a great long weekend. Cheers.